Many thanks for joining us on the newsroom on TV360 Nigeria. I am Aneta Felix. President Muhammadu Buhari is currently meeting with former President Goodluck Jonathan at the presidential villa in Abuja. Jonathan arrived at Aso Rock at about 11 a.m. and proceeded straight to President Buhari's office. The meeting is being held behind closed doors and the agenda has not been made public. But it was gathered that the former president is expected to brief Buhari on the efforts of his committee in mediating the Mali crisis. Recall that the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, had recently appointed Goodluck Jonathan to head the political reconciliation in Mali, where there is a leadership tussle. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has emerged winner of the Ondo State All Progressives Congress gubernatorial primary, which took place on Monday. Chairman of the election, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, announced the result after voting, sorting and counting of the votes. Akeredolu polled 2,458 votes to defeat other 9 aspirants in the election. In his acceptance speech, Governor Akeredolu thanks the chairman and the committee members for conducting the election in a free and fair manner. The Ondo State election is scheduled for October 10, 2020. A House of Representatives panel has commenced investigation into the recovered assets by various anti-graft agencies in Nigeria. The ad hoc panel is chaired by Adogu Adejora of APC Ondo and was set up to identify the location and custodian of the recovered assets, to take an inventory of recovered assets, both in cash and material, and determine the status of the recovered materials. The investigation by the panel is coming weeks after the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, was accused of failing to give a proper account of 332 out of 836 properties recovered by the agency prior to 2018. Some officials of the EFCC have received letters of suspension. Although details of the suspension is yet to be made public, the cable says EFCC Secretary Olanipekun Olukoyede is among those who received the letter. This development is not unconnected to the ongoing probe of Ibrahim Magu, suspended acting EFCC chairman. Magu was arrested on July 6th and wakes to the presidential villa in Abuja. He then appeared before an Ayo Salami-led panel set up by President Muhammadu Buhari to probe operations of the EFCC under him. Acting Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Kemi Bradikumo Ponde, has left the hospital. Ponde had slumped on Monday as the House of Reps Committee on NDDC grilled him. In a statement, the NDDC said their acting MD collapsed at the National Assembly because he ignored the doctor's advice on his health status. Ponde was said to have left the hospital on Tuesday morning. Gunmen have reportedly kidnapped a priest of Catholic Diocese in Nsukka in Enugu State, Reverend Father Innocent Mba. The priest was kidnapped on Friday afternoon while returning to his parish in Eha-Mufa, Isiozo local government area of the state. Communications Director of the Nsukka Diocese, Reverend Father Matthew Eze, confirmed the kidnap, but the Enugu State Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Daniel Undukwe, is yet to confirm it. Let's now take a break here to return shortly. Do stay with us.
Now believe this Koroti. You know if you touch black man. If you like, gather the whole Niger, come together, make a cough. Nothing.
Which one you want?
Give me V and D.
I beg, get small pieces.
How much you want to give him?
Give me 200. Take your change now. You don't want your changes.
My people, this coronavirus, na serious matter. May una wash your hands regularly. Come use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. If you no see water, wash your hand. Make una sit down for house. You see this virus, so e no get leg. Now we dey waka kurukere. No waka around, make the virus for die. No forget, say the betterment of our people. Now for your handy day.
This message is from the Akinfade Foundation in partnership with the National Orientation Agency with support from MacArthur Foundation.
"800 people have died of coronavirus in Nigeria after almost 4 months after the first COVID-19 related death was recorded in the West African country. With 12 new fatalities, a total of 801 people have now died of COVID-19 complications in 35 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, also announced 562 new infections in 20 states and the FCT in its updates for Monday. A total of 228 people were also discharged and 37,225 persons are confirmed to have contracted the virus. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule has presented a revised 2020 budget of 62.96 billion naira to the State House of Assembly for consideration and approval. Speaker of the House, Balarabe Abdullahi, announced this after the lawmaker representing our North constituency, Tanko Tunga, read the governor's letter during the House proceedings in Lafia. Abdullahi said the revised budget, tagged Budget of Inclusive Development, was necessary as the pandemic has affected the socio-economic activities of Nasarawa and the country and the world at large. European Union leaders have agreed to a 750 billion euro rescue plan for economies left shattered by the COVID-19 pandemic. The EU Council Chief Charles Michel dubbed the summit a marathon, which ended in success for all 24 member states, but especially for the people after 4 nights and 4 days of conferencing. The package will send tens of billions of euros to countries hardest hit by the virus, most notably Spain and Italy. Badu forward, Samuel Kalu has tested positive for coronavirus. Kalu becomes the second Super Eagles star to contract the disease after Genk striker Paul Onuchu. The Nigerian has been in quarantine in France since returning from the West African nation and was confirmed to have been the player announced by the club to have contracted COVID-19 on July 6th. According to reports, Kalu is expected to rejoin the rest of the team on July 27th should he turn in a negative test. Let's take a break here to return with business updates. Do stay with us.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. Eh? What's wrong with you? Is any other person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I've paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you, and I. This, your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption,
not in my country.
Oh, you know, go to your bank. Go. Corruption not in my country.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has inaugurated a body of experts for the healthcare sector research and development intervention scheme. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, performed the inauguration of the body at the CBN headquarters in Abuja on Monday. Speaking at the ceremony, CBN Governor Gordon Emefiele said to date, over 20 applications have been received, requesting for 67 billion naira worth of loans and funds to participate in the health sector research initiative.
As part of proactive measures to cushion the impact of COVID-19 on the economy and to support the growth of the healthcare sector, the Central Bank of Nigeria introduced the 100 billion naira health credit support intervention for companies in the health and pharmaceutical sectors in Nigeria. This intervention fund will help improve healthcare delivery capacity while supporting improved production of health-related products and services.
Sudan's ousted long-serving leader Omar al-Bashir has gone on trial in the capital Khartoum in connection with the military coup that brought him to power more than 3 decades ago. Al-Bashir is facing charges of undermining the constitution, violating the Armed Forces Act and fomenting a coup in 1989 against the democratically elected government of Prime Minister Sadiq al-Mahdi. He could face the death penalty if found guilty over his role in the 1989 coup. Bashir was forced out of power in 2019 following popular protest. The former president also wanted by the International Criminal Court ICC for alleged war crimes and genocide in the Western Darfur region. Chelsea is in contract with Kai Havertz, but the Blues are yet to have agreed a fee with the Bundesliga club. Peter Bosz's men missed out on qualification for the Champions League, accelerating the Germans' international desire to leave in the near future. The club was open to selling the 21-year-old publicly, stating that they wanted upwards of 100 million euros for the player. Having scored 17 goals and provided 8 assists in all competitions in 2019 to 2020, the versatile forward has emerged as Germany's outstanding young talent. And that's the update for you at this hour on the newsroom on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. Thank you for watching.